Surprise, motherfucker. How's it going? This is your friendly neighborhood Venger Satanis. What's up? This is just gonna be a short video, I think. Prince of Nothing was kind enough to review Chartreuse Shadows. I will put. He broke up into three parts, so I'll put a link to each one of the parts in the description below. I don't know what he was expecting. Maybe I do know what he was expecting, but it's not what he was after, I guess. We just have I don't know. It seems a lot of times it seems like we're on the same page, but I think we have a number of fundamental differences that stops us from, you know, worshiping the same God or whatever. It's like a Catholic Protestant thing to use that analogy. Uh, we're kind of similar. He's like here, and I'm like there, and a lot of times, we cross paths in the great wheel of life. But there are a lot of differences too. Sometimes we're very wide apart on what we think is appropriate, what we like, what we're going for, play styles, game mastering, a whole bunch of things. I think they're interesting reviews, at least the first and the third one. The second one, it just doesn't seem like there's much there for me to critique. But I did enjoy, to some degree, reading the first and the third parts. I disagree with a lot of what he says, which is fine. I think I've have matured enough as an artist, I suppose, taking critiques, because either that or I feel like, despite what a lot of people think, I'm at the top of my game and I just don't feel the need to, lash out at anyone that's giving me or the public an honest take on how they feel about things. If this was a hit piece or some sort of smear job because standard transphobic talking points, then I'd make a video of a very different sort. I would rip them a new one because they're not coming from a good or honest place. They're just being jackholes. But no, Prince of Nothing, he wants the best for me. He wants the best, at least in his opinion, the best for the hobby. So I commend him for that. And he took the time to review it and post it. I'm happy about that too. I may disagree with what he says, and I do, but he has opinions. His opinions. I have my opinions. I don't know. I went back and forth a lot between, do I critique his critique? Do I go, how much do I want to get into this? Do I want to go line by line and like, well, that's not really the case because of X, and this isn't really the case because of Y, and obviously that can't be true because of Z. Or maybe I just like, I don't know, cherry pick like a couple things that just struck me, that came out at me and made me think like I see things completely differently than he does. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'll do that approach. One thing that I do want to get off my chest, something that just like was like throbbing, pounding in my blood. That I was just like, I need to say something about this. And in my head, as I was reading it, I was just like thinking it. but in my thoughts, I was like screaming, like, ah, because I don't have anyone to talk to here, because my kids are like, 11 or 5 or 7 or whatever, and they don't understand. And my wife, she doesn't understand either. Anytime I start talking about the role playing game stuff, she, gets into other things like, why are these books here still? So I do still have books for sale. If you want Chalt Future Malaise, and very, very soon, God willing, tentacles crossed, I will have Chalt Chartreuse Shadows in my possession. Hopefully the first or second week of July. I need it here by VengerCon, which is the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th of July. So hopefully they don't let me down and they get it to me. Anyway, the thing that I was in my head I was screaming about as I was reading the review was I was thinking what I wouldn't give for, especially back in the day when I listened to music a lot more, but even now, what I wouldn't give for a new, like a never before heard Metallica album that was made between Kill 'Em All and Justice for All. So somewhere in there, somewhere around, Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master Puppets, or even And Justice for All, or Garage Days Revisited, even. To have a full, undiscovered Metallica album, circa, 1985, something like that. What would I give for something like that? If you could kickstart something like that, what would the world give? Personally, I'm very tight with my money. I don't like to, throw it around unnecessarily. I would probably give, me personally, $1,000 minimum. If you could kickstart something like that, go back in time and have Metallica back then create a new album that sounded basically like their other stuff from that era. But it was still new songs, new lyrics, new solos, and it was different. It was the same, but it was different. Metallica was huge back then. They became bigger and more popular now, but that's because they were awesome back then. Easily millions of dollars, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, maybe even $1 billion. If you could do that, if you could kickstart a 1985 Metallica album that had never been heard before, that would easily be worth to the world, I'm just going to conservatively say $100 million. Going by that logic, I would like to tell the creators out there, don't be afraid to not only be yourself, but just kind of be happy where you are, doing your thing. And if you love doing it, and if you like the results, keep doing it. I can speak from experience. I love doing new things and trying to be innovative and trying to experiment and go out of my comfort zone occasionally and just do things that are completely different. Like, when I did Alpha Blue, or when I tried the vampire one, Blood Dark Thirst. There are a couple idiosyncratic modules or scenarios that I kind of maybe went out in left field or took a risk, maybe too many risks for the product's own good. So I totally get that. But on the other hand, it's okay to just be yourself and be okay with your own sound and your own voice, because the people that like that will continue to like that. And the people that want X from you, there's nothing wrong with X. And there's nothing wrong with the audience expecting that and the audience wanting that. I'm not saying like pander all the time, 24/7, but it's okay to give the people what they want. It's okay to not break new ground. I'm not saying, obviously it can go negative too. If you just like constantly like do the exact same shit, that also gets old. So I'm not saying that, but I'm personally not afraid to stay the same occasionally. And Chult makes me want to keep doing it. Chult feels like home to me, and it's a place where I feel myself. I feel normal, and I like creating in that world. I want to keep doing it. You know, I can see where Prince of Nothing is coming from. Where like, if this is the finale, or at least the third part of the trilogy, why not go all out and keep threatening to blow up the world, like really blow it up, or have it collide with Pluto or Yugoth, and now it's completely different. Um, I don't know. I see it like a long running TV series, and so when he mentions season six, 6 seasons in a movie, that's a Community reference. Um, I vibe with that. That's kind of what I'm going for. I'm going for like a Seinfeld, like 9 season kind of episodic TV series. So I see it more like that than a trilogy of movies, I guess, because there are a lot of little parts and there are a lot of little stories that I want to tell, and there's big stuff and there's small stuff. There's nuance. There's details. I like to have things come out slowly and organically, and I'm not afraid to just keep mining that area, because sometimes when you find a good mine, it can keep going and going and going. The more you mine, the more you find. Um, for years and years and years. I hope that's true with Charles. I think it is. I don't feel creatively stymied. I feel overflowing with inspiration. And so, yeah, I'm going to keep doing it. Pretty soon, with probably the beginning of next year, 2023, I'll probably have a Kickstarter for book 4, maybe, possibly. God willing, again, tentacles crossed. And I just want to keep doing it because that's what I love, and I feel like I'm producing some of the best stuff of my career, of my life. And I can't say that about a lot of the things I write. Some things are better off one and done, and other things are worth going back to or replicating. But Chult is something that I've been very happy with. All 3 books, and I want to keep doing it. And I want things that are new, but I also want to keep things kind of the same because I love it there. And there's always a little bit more to explore, and I'm excited to do that. Maybe this new one, Chartreuse Shadows. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it was too much of the same thing. But can you really get too much of the same thing when you love that thing. Maybe Prince of Nothing didn't have the love for it. Well, certainly doesn't have the love for it that I do. I mean, I created it. It's mine. I created it because I love it. Because I wanted to see that specifically. Um, but maybe that's just not his jam, kind of at all. I mean, his appreciation for Chalt and even the second one, Chalt Fuchsia Malaise, is commendable because I don't think that's kind of his bread and butter. I wouldn't say that's the antithesis or anything, but I just don't think that that's his main vibe. Like it's my main vibe. So I wouldn't expect him to appreciate it like I do. But it's unfortunate that he doesn't see the growth, the evolution. I mean, he probably appreciates the tremendous amount of work I put into the 360 pages that is Chartreuse Shadows. But I went above and beyond for that book, and I'm very happy with it. For me, it's a success. I think I nailed it, and I'm pleased. I'm so pleased that I don't even mind really the negative criticism. I mean, years ago, I would have been like something else and indignant. I would have been foul mouthed cuss, and it would I would really like I don't know went to town. But I'm fine. He had a negative reaction to it, and I feel bad that he didn't enjoy it as much as I hoped he would. But at the end of the day, it's okay. It's fine. Can't win them all. A lot of reviews have come up through that were extremely positive, and I hope to see more of those. If you want to write a review, be it positive or negative, please do. I hope it's positive, but if it's not, I understand. But I'll be okay. I am okay. I feel fine, and that's worth more than gold. All right, I'll leave it there. See ya.